Okay, let's talk about human resources. But hang on. Whatever you think you know about HR, just, set that aside for a minute. We're going to explore how this department went from being the paperwork people to the absolute strategic command center for a company's most important asset, its people.
Seriously, when you hear HR, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Piles of forms? Payroll problems? Maybe handling interpersonal conflicts? Yeah, for the longest time, that was the stereotype. But is that really the whole story?
Not even a little bit. These days, HR, or as it's often called now, human capital management, is the strategic brain behind a company's single most valuable asset. And you already know what that is. It's the people.
To really get what modern HR is all about, we've got to start by completely rethinking what people mean to an organization.
The term human resource is actually kind of misleading. A resource, like money or raw materials, is something you use up. But people, they're completely different. They're not a resource, they're capital. When you invest in them with training, with opportunities, their value actually grows. They learn, they create, they innovate, they appreciate over time.
So why the huge shift in thinking? Well, it's because the entire world of work is being reshaped by 5 massive, interconnected forces. And once you see these, you'll understand exactly why managing human capital is so incredibly crucial today.
First up, force number 1, innovation. And look, I know that sounds like a buzzword, but it's not. It's the literal reality of survival for companies now. Today's cutting-edge product is tomorrow's old news.
And if you want to understand the stakes, get this. For many big companies, a whopping 80% of their revenue comes from products that didn't even exist 4 years ago. That means if you stop innovating, you don't just fall behind, you basically disappear.
This relentless pressure to innovate has completely changed the nature of work itself. We've moved from an economy based on hands, physical labor you can command and control, to an economy based on the brain. Your job is now about thinking, creating, communicating. And here's the catch. You can order someone to lift a box, but you can't order them to have a brilliant idea.
Now, on top of that pressure to innovate, let's layer on our second force, demographics. The actual makeup of our workforce is transforming right before our eyes. In a lot of Western countries, the old population pyramid is, it's flipping upside down. It's starting to look more like a mushroom. You have this huge generation of experienced workers heading toward retirement and a much smaller pool of younger talent coming up behind them.
So what happens when all that experience and all that knowledge just walks out the door? You get a massive gap. Experts call it a talent shortage, and it's a huge challenge for basically every company out there.
The third force is globalization. And we're not just talking about exporting products anymore. The world, as they say, is flat, which means work itself can be done from pretty much anywhere.
I mean, think about this wild example. You could be in a drive-thru in the US, but the friendly voice taking your order might be in a call center in India. This is happening right now, and it means teams are more diverse and spread out than ever before. Managing that, it's a whole new skill set.
Our fourth force is technology. This isn't just about faster internet. It's a fundamental revolution in how we create and share information. The early web was like a broadcast. Big institutions created content and we just read it. It was a one-way street. But suddenly we're all creators. We write the Wikipedia articles. We post on social media. This simple shift has massive implications because companies no longer control the conversation.
And our final trend is a massive change in values. What people want from their work and from their lives is fundamentally different than it was for our parents' or grandparents' generations.
Just stop and think about it for a second. What do you look for in a job? Is it just a paycheck, or is it about finding a purpose, having flexibility, opportunities for growth, and a positive culture? Chances are, your priorities look very different from what came before.
Okay, so let's put it all together. You've got nonstop innovation, an aging workforce, a global talent pool, a web where everyone has a voice, and this huge shift in personal values. So what happens when you throw all of that into a blender?
You get a perfect storm of people problems. To keep up with innovation, you need lifelong learning. To deal with demographics, you have to capture critical knowledge before it retires. Globalization creates a worldwide battle for talent, and shifting values means that talent has entirely new expectations for what a job should be.
And this is where modern HR steps onto the stage. It's no longer just an administrative job, it is the strategic response to every single one of the challenges we just talked about.
The modern HR playbook is a strategic cycle. It starts with finding the right talent in a global market. Then it's about selecting the best candidates scientifically. From there, it's a loop of rewarding people in ways that align with new values, constantly developing their skills, and creating a culture that makes your best people want to stay. In other words, you have to retain them.
So as we wrap this up, what is the ultimate goal of all of this? Why does it matter?
It's all about one thing: creating and sustaining a company's competitive advantage. All these activities, finding, developing, and keeping great people, they aren't just nice-to-haves. They are the absolute engine of success in this fast-changing world. So I'll just leave you with this thought. In a world where your competitors can copy your technology, match your business strategy, and undercut your prices, what's the one thing they can never, ever replicate? What's the one true competitive advantage that's left?